It's the video we all knew was coming. All right, let's go over some Nomad stuff real quick. First, let's start with Charlie Grace. She went to the Moore Overland Expo. Pretty cool stuff, so go over and check her out for sure. If you're into that stuff, even if you're not, go over and check out my buddy Charlie Grace. All right, next we have Bunny. Bunny and Riley, they left the Pines Forest Camp due to some weather coming in, some bad weather, so they still had fun. They went back to base camp and hung out, and girls will be girls. They still had fun. So go and follow Bunny from BunnyPlaysHere on her adventures. All right. As of today, we have no indication that Rusty sold or traded anything. That's that's interesting news. I thought for sure it'd have a new something by now, right? House, trailer, car, land, anything. But nope. He's out traveling around doing some stuff. So if you want to go see what he's doing, go over and check out Rusty. All right, my buddy's dreaming out loud RVing. They planted some raised beds. That's right. Going through the little motions in the process of planting some flowers and some food. And so go over and follow them. And I bet they have better luck than Mike does. All right, let's talk about it. All right, a little while back I was asked, what do you think the next drama video is going to be from the Tater? And I said it's going to be about the land, them having to leave the land because of this, that, and the other thing. That's going to be the big drama thing. He's holding on to it because he knows drama sells. We all know drama sells, right? And so that was my prediction, and it looked like I was right. Well, we're going to talk about this briefly. I have some things to say, but we're going to talk about this more tomorrow on the live stream. So be sure to come over tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, right here for a live stream, and we'll talk more about it when you guys are right there in the chat, and we can go and have some back and forth, and you can have your input right there live in the moment. So be sure to come over and join us for that. All right, that's right. Nomadic Fanatic.
Who the fuck is Nomadic Fanatic?
Well, it was already well known that Tater Acres was no more. We talked about that for a while, and it was because of the clues that him and Diana dropped. We knew that it wasn't there. He said that this was the second property that he was forced to leave due to others. Well, maybe this one we'll say, yeah, but the first one, no, I think it was his own doing. He's the one that got some person that he didn't know and got him to sit up there and set up his little crack den or whatever it was, meth lab or whatever on his property. So it wasn't due to others. It was due to his own stupidity, in my opinion. Now, as far as Tater Acres goes, that was Tater Land. As far as Tater Acres goes, he says that haters went on his property. He said, I think he said 7. Before it was 11. I don't know. He said he was gone for X amount of days and there was already 11 people. Now he's saying it's 7, and I don't know, whatever. But he claims that channels tell people to go ahead and they say it's okay and they tell them where it is and all this other stuff. I watch a couple of channels that talk about Nomadic Fanatic besides myself, and none of them that I watch have I seen them encourage such behavior. Now, I'm not sure what happens on other channels that I'm not aware of, that I don't watch, or on some internet groups and chats and all that I'm not a part of because I don't get into those little groupie, clicky things anymore. I learned my lesson a long time ago. So I don't know what happens there, but as far as channels saying it's okay, I never heard it. And we've said this before, that unfortunately due to his track record, it's really hard to believe anything that Tater says. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt. And when it comes to all this stuff with trespassers and all this other stuff, even when it was before at Taterland, when he had the signs up and he was saying people would just show up, he even admitted it was his fans that were driving down, they wanted to say, but whatever. But I've stated back then, and I've stated several times since, that it doesn't matter what my feelings or opinions are on Eric talking shit on the internet and, watching his videos and saying that he built a really disgusting, shitty seat, and he put more time and effort into a fucking cat shit box than he did the seat for his bride-to-be, that's one thing. But going to his place and tracking him down and trespassing and bothering, I mean, even Eric deserves a safe place to call home and to lay his head. And I've said that several times. My videos are up. Go ahead. Feel free. Go back and scour them and see when and where I told everybody to go find his property and go. No, didn't happen. And I know he likes to blame me for every damn thing, but I didn't post his location, nor did I encourage trespassers. I discouraged, if anything. Now, when it comes to, oh, well, maybe it wasn't you, but maybe you encouraged it in your comment section. No, I didn't encourage it in my comment section. I do allow people to, with differing opinions, state their whatever, their beliefs or their opinions in the comment section. A lot of people come over here because they can't on Taters or any other people, because as soon as they say something, they get blocked and deleted. Now, if it's a link or if it's someone's personal info and stuff like that, yes, it does go away if I catch it. Most of the time YouTube catches it, throws it in the shit bin, and I go through it later. But we don't allow certain things, but we kind of do allow stuff. Even when people talk shit about me, I still approve it. It comes up. But that takes me to the postings on Google Maps. Now, that's a little bit it's kind of funny and it's kind of clever, but it is a little bit crazy. I mean, but then again, who would go back there in that mud pit thinking that it's an attraction back there? I would have never, but it is a little bit nuts to go that far to send people to his home, because again, he deserves a place, if he has a home somewhere, he deserves that privacy and that sense of safety in his home and on his land. I say that many times. And as far as that Google posting, I only heard of that not too long ago when Diana mentioned it in a video. I didn't know that it was posted on Google as some kind of attraction. Again, I learned that quite recently. So no, it wasn't me. Again, I know he loves to blame me for everything. Personally, I think as locals, I mean, no one's going to really travel any distance to go to that mud pit to go back there and tromp through all the shit to bug Tater or walk around on his land. And that's just my opinion. I don't think so. And then we have the person, the alleged victim, let's say. I'm sure he has some nomadic quartzsite friends that are kind of local to the area, or, they live in their vehicles so they can travel around. And I'm sure maybe if it is a haters or something, maybe it's some of those people that want a little bit of retribution, retaliation, whatever word you want to pick out. But I don't find it kind of feasible that someone from across the country or another state is going to travel to find Tater Acres and go tromping through the mud to do that. So I don't know. And again, first it was 11 people. Now it's 7 people. Now I don't know. It's sad that you can't believe a word the dude says. And now he's back on the tracker story. He's claiming that another tracker, and this time it was put on his truck instead of the bus. And why? Who wants to track him, and for what purpose? I don't understand it, but I guess if somebody did it, that's a bit mental for sure. Because again, why would you want to track this guy in his truck and see? That's mental. So yeah, and that's even if it's true. I don't know, but if it is, a little bit. That's a little bit off. He then does go on and talk about money, AdSense, and sponsors and stuff like that. He says that, well, prices go up and up and up, and he's worried about once he has to hit the road now because he has no place to go. We all knew that, and that's why we knew he got rid of Tater Acres. But he says that the price of diesel is crazy, and he's worried about being able to travel with all this. But yes, as prices go up, he claims that YouTube pay is going down. His claim is that his sponsors are the only thing that's keeping him afloat. And he did have a little sponsor But, it was interesting because there was no mention of connecting in the video or the description. I know a couple of videos he didn't mention it, but it was down in the description. But now it's gone. It's not mentioned or anything. So I don't know if he lost his connecting sponsorship or not. But him whining about money, is that maybe a ploy for donations and more people to go over to his Patreon? And since he posted that Venmo and Cash App and all the other stuff, is that this woe is me because he's worried about needing money to pay for fuel and campsites and possibly for a court date. And let's face it, he did get a MacBook. He's got that MacBook Pro and he's showing it off that he did receive that. So, hey, why not ask for money, I guess? So, yeah, along with the no mention of connecting, yes, a lot of people have mentioned it, that there is no ring. There's no ring on his finger either. I don't know what that says or what it doesn't. I know he wore it long before he announced the engagement. And now after the engagement, he's not wearing it. I don't know. Maybe it's just for some people to talk about. Who knows? Who knows with the Tater? But, yeah, that's kind of going to do that about the old Tater.
You see that little check mark?
Because we're going to talk about this more, again, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So you guys can be right here live in the chat, and we can bounce things off one another, and we can discuss it more because I know you guys are chomping at the bit. So come on over. I just skimmed over some of the things, but we'll go over it in more detail mañana. All right, that's going to take us to, that's right, the comment of the day. Now, I want to say that it appears that I did pick the correct comment for yesterday's comment of the day, because a lot of people said they loved the comment, and it was great, and I agree. That's why I picked it. It was a good comment. So, what do we got today? I have seen a lot of people keep one of the original factory installed bus seats in their buses for the purpose of having a passenger. If it's factory installed and safe enough for school children or public transport, then it should be safe enough for somebody to ride in once it becomes an RV, as long as it is the original installation. And yes, that's a good comment, and I picked this one because, as we know, we talked about before, Bunny from BunnyPlaysHere, when she got her little shuttle bus and she was doing that, she actually kept one of the seats and made it a passenger seat, and she showed it had a big slide rail across, and then there was attachment points on the floor, so you could slide them and adjust them a little bit. So I found it quite interesting. I didn't know that little rail, I thought they just bolted into the wall and the floor. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. So yes, a lot of people do. They keep a seat or a few seats or, whatever it may be. And find a way to attach them, but they attach them correctly. And a couple other people said that, the money he spent on that tractor seat, he could have actually bought a real car seat with a high back and a headrest and everything else. And, got some steel and made a thing instead of wood. But we're past that. We're far past that. And I got one more real quick one. Oh, look, the miserable people back at the miserable channel. And they laughed my ass off with a bunch of little clowns. And the miserable people at the miserable channel actually being concerned and addressing the concern for Diana for sitting in that horrible seat that is not safe at all. It meets no kind of requirements or regulations or anything else, whether you want to believe it needs it to be or not, or whether, everybody in their RVs, they don't have proper, whatever it may be, whatever a thing on wood, it doesn't matter what you lag to that wood. It's not safe. It's not safe. So if we're miserable talking about the safety of his bride-to-be, I guess miserable we shall be.
This is Blind Views, and that's the way I see it.
What we do here is go back.